She does in her cage as well.
Hey friends, happy day to you. You are in my sunroom with me right now. It is probably 33 degrees outside, and right now in here, it is 72, 74 degrees. It's only gonna get warmer. It's actually quite amazing. And so we have a sunroom here on our main floor, and then we also have an identical footprint one down below, and that is where if you have seen any of my videos just about how we are doing a greenhouse, that's down there. So they're lovely. In fact, they're so lovely that we can turn our heat off and everything, and they heat our house. Anyway, that's just where you're at with me today. I wanted to come on today to introduce to you our newest friend that has joined our homestead, joined us here at Haven Hill, and then answer some questions for you. I just thought, did I turn my, I did. I turned my microphone on. Otherwise that would be a bummer because I'd have to redo the whole thing. And I posted a picture of Sweet Blossom on Instagram, and a bunch of questions came in again about bunnies. Oh, are you serious? Blossom's right over there. Can you see? Right there. Answer some of your questions about why we have bunnies, because they're not meat bunnies. Why do we call them garden bunnies? How do you raise bunnies, either as a pet or on for your family? I mean, our bunnies are incredibly valuable to us here on our homestead, specifically with a garden. What other ones? Are they easy? Are they hard? Are there health issues? What do you feed them? Are you breeding them? Do you have bunnies available? Those were just some of the questions that have come in. And so we thought we would just take a minute and answer those for you. So come along, let me introduce you to Blossom.
Yeah, there's two.
This is Sweet Blossom. She is well actually, Willow, do you want to tell us what kind of bunny is she?
A lionhead.
She is a lionhead bunny. We already have 2 Holland Lops. More information on them on other videos. So we're actually not going to talk much about the specifics of Holland Lops. We will talk a little bit about a lionhead, but more just bunnies in general and how we raise them here. Does she want some cilantro? I think we have her slightly nervous right now. So yes, actually, Blossom belonged to one of Willow's very good friends, and she, her friend does a lot with cattle, and so she just didn't have the time to devote to her anymore. So we now have her, and okay, so the whole goal with all of our bunnies, but particularly with Blossom, is that we are going to, in a couple of weeks, try to breed her. Well, we're going to give her time. We need to make sure that she adjusts well, but we would love, yeah, maybe a month, maybe more realistically like a month. We just haven't introduced them. She still is in quarantine. Anytime we add a new animal, they have a quarantine period before they're introduced to everybody else, for the sake of both of them, not just the current ones that we have, but also for the ones that are coming in. While the sun feels amazing, it is incredibly bright right now, so I had to move. There's my eyes, we're gonna get all watery. Okay, so the goal is within the month to introduce her to Gus, to breed them, and to hopefully start a litter of Lion Lop bunnies. So we've done the Holland Lop. We've had multiple litters of those. We will continue with that, but now we would like to introduce a Lion Lop as well. Lion heads are similar to Holland Lops. They're just, their ears don't flop. So if we breed her with Gus, then hopefully this particular bunny, if you Google search pictures of Lion Lop bunnies, they're absolutely adorable. So they have a little bit longer fur, but then their ears most often flop. So that's the goal. We're trying to get her to eat this this cilantro, but she doesn't seem to be interested. She loved it the other day. So here is, let me get a closer up of me holding her so you can see her face. So she is actually, she was more of a pet to who she came from. Oh, you're okay. Anyway, it's much easier to hold her than it is some of our, oh, you're scared. It's okay. It's much easier to hold her than it is our Holland Lop bunnies, just because our Holland Lops were not used to being held. So why do we have bunnies? Why do we have garden bunnies? We call them our garden bunnies, not because they roam freely in our garden, but rather because they are hugely instrumental to our garden. Right, girls? Yes, okay. So why we have them is last winter I spent a lot of time researching manure that comes from all different types of animals and what is the best manure for garden, and ideally what doesn't have to be composted. So obviously chicken poop, horse manure, duck, all of that is great. It's really good for the garden, but it all should be composted so it does not fry your plants for at least a certain amount of time, anywhere ranging from 2 weeks to months and months, depending on what manure you're pulling from, what type of animal. So I did research on bunny poop, and bunny poop, actually, I've said this before, more so on Instagram. I'm not going to go into all the scientific because I just don't think anybody, or not as many people, are interested in that portion. But you can look up the actual statistics of, or the specifics maybe is a better way to say it, of bunny poop, and all the different nitrogen levels and all of that, phosphorus, all of that that's actually found in bunny poop. Actually has more and better ratios for a garden than even horse manure. That's huge, and it does not have to be composted. So we can take it right from their cages where we keep them, also where they have roaming space. We can take it and just put it right onto our garden beds. The same way actually with sheep. I'm not going to be talking about sheep in this video, other than the fact that that is one of the reasons why we love sheep as well, for their purposes of using their poop for garden, for anywhere that you need to fertilize. So that is our biggest reason why we call them our garden bunnies, and why we chose garden bunnies. Not only are they absolutely adorable, they are. We do not use them for meat. This is not a meat bunny anyway, but honestly, that's just not something that we're interested in. They are way too adorable. I have zero desire, and either do any of my kids, to butcher a bunny. So that's just not on our radar, and we don't really have any interest in eating rabbit meat as well. I know lots of people, friends of ours, that do. It's just not something that we're interested here at Haven Hill. So we choose them for other very specific and very important purposes, and they add a huge value to our gardens. Okay, one thing you may not realize, but last year we had a massive garden expansion. We're having another garden expansion this year, and part of the reason why we were able to do it and have such a good harvest in this space for the first year, I really believe, is because of the fertilizer that we were able to put on it from our bunnies and from our sheep. It used to be a horse pasture. The ground was so incredibly hard. I was afraid we weren't going to get anything, so I just started pouring their used bedding onto it, and it did incredible. So incredible that we were actually even able to have a CSA last year. So awesome. Okay, so what Deeks has a calculator, and he's pretending it is his phone right now. Okay, so my girls are the ones that primarily take care of the bunnies on a daily basis. When we first got them, we were doing it together, which is so enjoyable. But then my goal was to really teach them how and what to do, and they now completely take it over. So when they sell bunnies, that is their thing. Like, if you ever were to purchase a bunny from us here at Haven Hill, it's my girls. My girls socialize them. My girls take care of them much or most of the time. Is that true, Posey? Do you like your bunnies? Yeah. Yes. Okay, Willow, so can you just tell, can you share, like, what is the basic care? First of all, is it easy taking care of bunnies?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the basic care on a daily basis? What do you do? How many times do you feed them?
Twice, and I do about 2 tablespoons. So probably 4 tablespoons a day.
4 per bunny.
Yep.
Okay. And then they have bedding, correct?
Yep.
Yep. And then
Well, she's litter trained.
she is litter trained. Yes, the girls have her in their room right now because they love her, but it was a great spot to put her. I know you love them all. I know you do, but it was a really good spot to keep her. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so out of all of the ones that the girls have sold, probably half of them are pets and half are garden bunnies. So you can litter train them actually quite easily. Willow, how do you litter train a bunny?
So I just have a little box and I put like pine pellets in it and straw and then hay for them to eat. And when like they like have an accident like on the ground, I just pick it up and I pop it in a litter box, and they'll eventually get used to and I make sure I clean it really well so they eventually get used. So they eventually get used to their scent being in the litter box. So that's how they know that's where they have to go.
It literally took her probably 2 days to litter train this particular one. Some of them, I feel like Opal, when you first did hers was like a day. So each one is different, but it's very simple, much like a cat. You can train them to go in a litter box, and then you can still use, if you desire, you can still grab their poop, or if you choose the right litter, and you can still use it for your garden. I will say they do make absolutely adorable pets, especially once they've been socialized and they're used to being held. That is one thing that has been their goal, that they hold them a lot for people that are going to purchase them. So they're just used to being held, because bunnies do get scared easily and then they kind of scratch with their back feet. But if they're held and they're used to being held, like this one, you can tell she's used to being held and played with. She's so friendly. Okay, other questions that came in are things like, what kind of food do you feed them? So they always have to have Timothy hay, and you can actually grow that or you can purchase it. But then what food do you actually give them?
I feed them Oxbow Simple Harvest.
Yes, Oxbow Simple Harvest. I'll put a link for that down below. It's the one that we have found that we like the best for right now. I've shared in the other videos as well, I've actually shown how we have them set up in our barn. So we actually have horse stalls in our barn. We do not have horse right now. And so we have an entire stall that's devoted to the bunnies. She will hopefully move out there if my girls don't become too attached, right?
I know.
They want her to stay. So we have a horse stall set up for them. They have separate cages. So we have Gus in a cage, Opal in a cage, and then we take time every single day. Like Opal has half of the day, Gus has half of the day. Actually, his half is usually in the evening, and they can roam around the entire stall. When we're breeding them, then obviously they can be together, but that still isn't even for that terribly long. They might be together for just a bit, and then they go back to their separate spaces. Are they easy for kids to take care of? Obviously, yes. That's why my girls do it. Okay, you can say hi too. Yes, you can say hi too. Say hello.
Hello.
Good job. They are easy to take care of. We had a unique situation. I won't go into the whole story. When we first got Opal, somehow she broke her leg after we had her for 1 week. So that was a huge long journey. And there are other videos about that. I will post them and you can find them down there. Okay, you don't have to say hi. No, you don't have to. Where do we get our Timothy hay from?
A farmer.
Yep, we just get ours from a farmer. And actually, Timothy hay or Timothy grass, either way, you can also get it at places like Farm and Fleet or online. Ours actually right now may not even be Timothy. I don't remember the kind that it is, but it's just fine. Timothy is in their feed, and then we also give them at least a couple times a week. We will give them fresh herbs. We will give them carrots if they like them. Not all bunnies actually like carrots. Kind of interesting. Our 2 Holland Lops seem to really like them. Has she eaten a carrot yet?
Oh yeah.
She has. Okay, so she at first didn't seem to want them. Now she will eat them. Posey, are you guys going to be selling any more bunnies?
Yes, we are.
Yes, you do. Do you like selling them, or is it hard?
It's both.
Yeah, both. Yeah, it's hard. You don't like saying goodbye, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Willow, so what happens with a bunny's first litter?
A lot of times it's stillborn.
It is. It usually is stillborn. And then their second litter is usually fine? Yeah, that's what has been the case for us. Our first litter of opals was stillborn. So I'm not sure what will happen with this sweet little one because she has never been bred. But my guess is it will probably be stillborn. And then her next one hopefully will be just fine.
It's a lot of times just because they don't know how to take care of them. So they don't know what to do.
Yep, that's right. Opal has been a fantastic mom though. So hopefully that will go well. And again for her, and then hopefully this little sweet Blossom, she will be a good mama. What do bunnies look like when they're first born?
Kind of ugly.
They are ugly, aren't they? Yeah. Is there a bunch of fur? No. No fur.
They look like little rats.
Yeah, they do. They look like little rats. But they're pretty doggone cute. Okay, so one interesting thing too about that I thought of about lionhead is you actually do have to trim their fur just kind of around their face so they can see. You don't have to do that with Holland lot bunnies. We're gonna show you how we have Blossom set up downstairs in the girls' room, and maybe that will be helpful for somebody else to see in case you want to keep one inside. Okay, so this is their setup, and we actually see a little bit of poop on the blanket. She's been going, I mean, look at this. It's prolific. She has been doing so well in her litter box, so it might be that this needs to be cleaned out, but either way, you can just take that with a glove on your hand or just wash your hands after, put it in there, and then she'll know. So we just used a dog crate to block this off with her, and then the girls also give her roaming time where she can kind of just roam free. She hasn't gone anywhere on your rugs, has she? I don't. No. Okay. So the girls put a sheet down. They love chewing on cardboard, and it's very good for their teeth. That's the biggest thing with bunnies. You do need to make sure they have something to chew on, whether it's cardboard or the grass, because if the thing that can cause a problem is if their teeth, oh, she just flopped. This is a very good sign. That's another question. People were asking, what does it mean when the bunny flops? This is when they are flopped. It means they're totally relaxed and comfortable, and that is a great sign. But what I was gonna say about the teeth is, you don't want their teeth to get too big because that can cause a great amount of pain to them. So as long as they have grass and cardboard to chew on, they're good. Sweet Blossom has flopped. Look at you, Peanut. She did seem to get very used to us right away, which was lovely. I'm glad. And these girls do take very good care of her. Look at all of her fur hanging out of the cage. She does shed a little bit. And bunnies do, kind of, it's like a molting period. How, like twice a year? When the seasons change? Yeah. Our bunnies in the barn actually drink from a water bowl, but she was used to this type of bunny waterer, but she actually has been using both. That's nice too, that when they can do both. Our ones outside couldn't. They could never figure out the bunny waterers, but the breeder that we got them from always had them drinking from bowls, so it's just what they were used to.